Hi everybody, Cerebra Sana in Paris. It is Saturday night, May 9th, 2020. It's about 10 past 11, and there's a thunderstorm outside. And I'm making this video tonight to just talk to you. I mean, there's really not much I'm going to show you on screen. I really just wanted to tell you what I did today. I had lunch with a friend. A revolutionary act. I had lunch with a friend. And the lunch that we had was a takeout lunch from this pizzeria that we used to go to in Paris. All the people that work in this pizzeria are from Naples. And when you go there, it's like Naples in the center of Paris. And obviously they'd closed because of the problem. But we recently saw that they'd come out with, they came out and they said, now we're doing takeout. And they created literally like a whole new menu that they could do in a takeout format. They do a pizza with truffles, and truffles in French is truffe, T-R-U-F-F-E, truffe, right? So the name of the pizza with the truffles is Moment of Truffe, which I just thought, you know, they're obviously, it's kind of, I'm having trouble speaking English tonight, but it's like an inside joke to Moment of Truth, right? But Moment of Truffe, I thought that was funny. And then they had, they do pasta with cheese, and they called it Macron and cheese instead of macaroni and cheese, like Macron, our president. So anyway, I just had to, do a shout out to these people. They're just doing the best they can, and I have to just give them credit because it's not easy for them, and it's not easy for anybody, but they're at least making the most out of the situation and allowing us to continue to eat their food with as much of the same ambiance as we're used to when we go to their restaurants. So when I went to pick up the food this afternoon, I said, so how are you guys doing? And they said, well, we're doing okay. And the girl in front of me, you know, you don't go in the restaurant. They've got it set up on the sidewalk. So you just come up and you give them your order number, and then they go and they get your order for you. So I just said to the girl when she brought me all the food, I just, so how are you guys doing? And she's got her mask on and everything. And she's like, well, you know, we're doing okay, but I mean, I much prefer it when everybody's inside and it's just fun and lively. I said, yeah, I know. I said, you guys literally had to invent a whole new menu to be able to do it like this. She's like, yeah, I know. I said, but I think it's great, you know, good luck with it, and, you know, we're still supporting you as much as we can, etc. And so then I continued on to my friend's place, and we had lunch, and we sat on his balcony, and we just talked. I dropped a lot of truth bombs, and not so much that I was dropping truth bombs, because we've talked about things before, and I think people, you have to understand that a lot of people just live their lives and don't go doing the research like we do. I think probably a lot of people that are listening to me go and do research and look things up, but most people don't. And so he's totally open and aware, but he doesn't necessarily do the research like me. So this was an opportunity for us to just chat, and I just gave him a lot of information. And, you know, I find myself saying, and I downloaded the document, right? This is the big thing. People look at you like you're crazy or whatever, but it's like, and I downloaded the document. So I'm using that phrase a lot with people. It's like, would you like me to send you the document? Right? So, I mean, I'm laughing about it now, but I mean, it's not really funny. But I just really was happy to be able to see somebody and just pretty much hang out normally. And so we were sitting on his balcony at one point, and I started to hear the clapping. I said, it's 8 p.m. The balcony clapping has begun. So I got to witness the balcony clapping in his neighborhood, and it's true. People were like coming out, and he has a balcony, but there were people in his street that didn't. So you have all these heads poking out of windows and clapping, and I'm like, oh, it's the sheep. The sheep are out clapping, and it's just ridiculous. It really is. And I told him, I said, because he told me that he'd tried to organize like something similar, that people would come over, we'd go get takeout, and people would come over. And he said after he'd gone out and gotten everything and was getting ready for the event, his friends called and said, well, the virus, we're not really comfortable with going out now. And I said, well, I've been telling people that this is going to divide the world into the mask-wearing, fear-filled people who have drunk the Kool-Aid, and the people who've done the research, who don't wear the masks, who are going to just try to get to the truth, get people to understand that this is just a fabricated crisis for many other reasons. And I've been using the image of that actual thing that we're seeing, the little spiky foot relaxation ball that we've seen, right? That scary foot relaxation ball with all the little spikes coming out of it. Every one of those spikes for me is like a piece of the agenda, right? One spike, cashless society. One spike, more tracking. One spike, get everybody work from home. One spike, teach children to not interact with others. One spike, get all the cars off the road. One spike, it just goes on. One spike, huge spike, get everybody vaccinated, right? So every one of those spikes on that silly little foot relaxation tool connects to a well-proven, well-documented agenda that has existed for a long time. And this particular crisis of sorts is just the way that they're going to be able to usher all of this stuff in one fell swoop. So it was an occasion to talk about all this stuff. And I know in my entourage there are people who are like, well, I just try to be positive and I want to be a positive influence in life. And yeah, so do I. So do I. I want to be a positive influence in life. But I think we have to be careful when we're saying things like that positive influence in life cannot mean the same thing as, well, I'm just going to go along with the BS. I'm just going to surrender my rights. Right? We can't let those two things link up. That would be very bad. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So, I have my moments when I am not a happy camper. It's most days that I'm not a happy camper about all of this stuff. And as I said to my friend this afternoon, at one point he went on and he put on some music, and it was all music from Italy. And I'm like, what are you doing with this stuff? And it was all these Italian songs and songs from Naples and all of this stuff. And I said, at home, I don't even listen to music in my house. I said, I can't. I haven't listened to tango since this whole thing started, because it just makes me, A, extremely sad, and B, extremely mad, angry. Right? So, it was okay. I wasn't alone, so we were chatting and talking, and the music was there, and it was fine. And we ended up listening to a lot of, different music. But just something as basic as hanging out and listening to music, for me, it was difficult. It is difficult for me to do it here. He said it's funny because he says everybody's reacting to this in their own way. And speaking of himself, he says, well, I'm just trying to continue to live my life as I normally do. I'm reading more books and different things like that. And you're trying to sort of avoid things. I said, yeah, in a way. I said, I'm trying to live my life as normally as possible. I've been going out to get my vegetables at the farm, which is farther than, I've just been going out and doing things. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not doing any of that stuff. But I can't allow myself to inflict pain on myself, which is listening to tango, for example, would be like too painful. Because listening to tango, seeing the blue sky and the sunshine and the warm temperatures, it's like, yeah, I should be listening to tango down by the Seine. dancing with my friends. And they're telling me I can't. And they're telling me I can't based on data that we know is completely manipulated. So I was just chatting with another friend of mine in Italy, and again, I'm trying to be positive. He's telling me he's trying to be positive and optimistic and all of that, and I'm like, well, me too, except that I'm also a realist. Because we were like, I hope we can go to the beach this summer and all this stuff. I'm like, buddy, I booked my plane in December. I already have my summer vacation already booked and paid for. And our government just came out, I think it was Thursday, and they're saying, well, for summer vacation, we will be, and the line was, we will be limiting long international travel, so we will be amongst Europeans this summer. But we want our people to have hope, was the quote. Right? So perhaps I could think of myself as, perhaps I could be optimistic because he says we want to be amongst Europeans. He's contrasting that with long international travel. Well, I just want to go a couple of thousand kilometers, not even a couple of thousand. I just want to go down to like Ischia, like to Naples, right? It's an hour and a half flight from my home. I just want to go there. So would that count? Can I be optimistic that I'm going to be able to get on a plane? At the moment, the whole airport is closed where I would fly out of. The airport, they just closed it. Okay? So it's fine, well and good that our president can come out and say, we want to leave our people with hope. Yeah, but they also are saying in the same breath that a lot of things will remain closed until June 15th at the least. And I'm kind of like, people, just lay it on us. Just give us the info. Don't string us along, right? Which is what they've been doing. They've been stringing us along. And today, as a matter of fact, I haven't checked yet, but today they were supposed to be voting on whether or not they were going to extend the state of health emergency. Because it's that state of health emergency that allows them that gives them all these extra powers, right? That they can do things to us and give us fines for this or that or whatever and impose these measures on us. And I heard this morning before I went out that there was not consensus. Like there was some opposition to extending it. So I was like, yeah, you go guys. Like, let's battle for, because what are they saying? Oh, flatten the curve. Remember, flatten the curve, right? Things are apparently getting better, right? We're supposed to be unlocking France in some areas starting on Monday, the 11th. And some of France is going to continue with the draconian measures. Some other regions will have less draconian measures. But here in Paris, I pretty much have to say, well, I won't be taking the metro ever again in my life because they have made it mandatory to wear a mask in the metro. So today when I had to go where I went with my car. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not wearing a mask for, because I don't want to breathe my own exhaust. I don't want to faint from breathing in my own carbon dioxide. I know that you need an electron microscope to see a virus, and that means it's so small it can go through the mask. So, no, I don't want any of this. So we shall see what's going to happen. But for the moment, the unlocking down of France is looking actually worse, because at the moment, it's not mandatory to wear a mask. And then when I was with my friend, I got a message from one of, it was an unwanted text message that was informing me with great pleasure that the beautician's shop would be opening and that they've taken measures. This is the beautician. This is like where you go for like a face massage or some cream that they're going to put into your face, or they're going to, it's like the beautician. All right. And in the text message, it says that they've taken all the measures to sanitize their rooms and everything, and that all the clients should bring their own mask. And I'm like, how are they going to massage my face and give me the cream and give me the treatment while I'm wearing a mask? People, think about it. Think about the insanity of this. It's just ridiculous. And I don't know if you watch Project Veritas. Last week they posted a video about this clinic. I forget where the clinic was. It was a report that ran on CBS News of like, oh, the testing at the clinic, and look, the line is down the street, and all of this stuff. And Project Veritas went in undercover, and they had their people saying, oh, no, that was all staged. They asked us we had no idea we would be doing fake patients and all this stuff. And now they've come out. The clinic has put out these different statements, and the statements conflict. Right, so you've got like the CEO who comes out and says, yeah, well, for patient privacy reasons, we did ask our own personnel to get in their own cars and line up in the street as if they were patients to protect the identity of the real patients. And then you've got somebody else, I guess, above the CEO, or I don't know who. I didn't memorize all of this stuff, but it's all, you just go on Project Veritas and you'll see it. And you've got somebody who comes out and says that no staging was done, and we have no proof that anybody told anybody to do anything that wasn't, on the up and up. And it's like, wait a minute, have you spoken to your other president woman person who came out and admitted that they did stage the thing? Like, is there any coordination going on here? But it just becomes laughable. And this comes on the heels of that other expose of that clinic in Hawaii, where the woman was on television saying, oh, we've been overwhelmed with the people. Meanwhile, there's a guy sitting in the parking lot for 2 days straight going, where is the line? I don't see the line. And when he finally goes up to confront the woman, she ends up punching the guy in the face, all of which is filmed, obviously. So, I mean, you just have to start to take a step back and go, guys, there's just so much that doesn't make sense. And we need to get back to living a regular life. We cannot let this steamroller roll over us. As I showed in the video I posted yesterday, this is the only image that I have in my head of this massive steamroller just rolling over everyone who's standing in the streets with their masks on, waiting for the thing to roll over them. We can't do it. We can't do it. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about what happened today. And I actually had a nice day with this friend that I hadn't seen in months, literally. And he was happy to spend some time with someone as well. And we had a delicious lunch from our favorite restaurant that had to literally come up with a new way to continue to earn a living, basically. So I commend the people at the restaurant. And, they're at least in a position to do that. But not everybody who has a business can, quote unquote, reinvent themselves, which was what our president was telling us on Thursday that I heard when I was in my car coming back from the farm with my vegetables. And I heard that he had said that people need to reinvent themselves from the confines of their own home. Right? So if you take someone like myself, I don't have a quote-unquote job. I'm my own boss. I'm an independent. So all of these aid measures and the money that they're doling out to people, they're doling it out and the unemployment insurance, your job, you're going to get paid, your unemployment and all this stuff. That only works for people who are salaried employees in companies. So someone like myself, I'm amongst what they call the forgotten people. And they ultimately came out with some sort of aid program for people like me. And because I have no clients at the moment. I have nothing. And we can sort of thank the crisis in a way, because it allowed me to get back to making videos, which I love to do. But making the videos does not pay my rent, unfortunately. And in my situation, I have no means to go out and prospect. I can't find clients. I refuse to go and and try to do all my work online, it's just not possible. So reinventing myself is, yeah, okay, well, I have to come up with a new business plan, a new concept. What could I do with my life? How can I create a new me from the confines of my own home? Right? It's just insane that we have been thrust into this situation. And, you know, I'm thrilled to be back making videos and back in contact with all you guys, and it's great. And this is really what I would love to be doing, you know, and to be able to pay the rent one way or the other, because this is, you know, it is a job to make a decent video and do the research and put it all together in a package that communicates something to people. I do put a lot of work into the videos that I try to make. Not particularly this one, because it's just me talking, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. So it's really a strange and frustrating situation to be hearing these people in power telling us that as if you could just snap your fingers and create a new you, but you can't go out. You can't go further than 1 kilometer of your house. Whatever you do, if you do go out, you have to wear these silly masks and gloves and don't talk to people, don't stand near people. And it's just insane. Insane. There's no other word for it. So, on that pleasant and upbeat note, I will wish you guys a pleasant weekend. And as always, I look forward to your comments. I love seeing you guys interact with the videos and making my channel what it is, something hopefully appealing. And I will be back soon with more information. Cerebra Sana, signing off from Paris. Bye, everybody.